from like 4 million to 8 million.
That's
Double. I mean, I don't know how this is all going to play out with the traffic and parking and obviously housing. I mean, we're already experiencing housing shortage. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but so you guys know, we're doubling. We're doubling. More opportunities for you when it comes to the buyers, more opportunities for you when it comes to the sellers. So that's a great news.
That's true. This guy who is my friend, and I was talking with him, and he was kind of undecided on what to apply or not. And I told him, "You're coming from California. Here, Arizona is the new California. It's the trending."
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I was talking to a buyer, and he's coming from California. I mean, he's like, I'm going to put my house on the market. I'm going to get another contract this weekend, $750,000 house, and he wants to buy like a $500,000 house here.
Yeah, and have some money left.
And it'll be a bigger house too.
Yeah, bigger house. From Downey. He's from Downey, California, and he's like, man, I just hate it. My kid's second year in a row cannot go to school. The teachers don't want to go to school. Like, I'm done with it. I'm coming here.
Yeah.
You know,
so applying.
Yeah. So, and I know in Prescott, Parker, I mean, what, like 80%, 70, 80% of your buyers are from California, right?
I'd say at least 80.
Yeah, I mean, that's
more.
crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that's like everybody in California wants to move to Prescott. But
yeah, we're thinking about changing the name to California East.
California. But what is the average age of the buyers? Is it like in their 50s and 60s then? Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say retirement is the average.
Retirement, yeah.
We have some that are, 30s and 40s, but that's the minority of them.
Because there's just not that many jobs in Prescott Valley, right? High-paying jobs.
No, there's not.
Unless you're a Parker and real estate sales.
Right. I mean, you were talking about it though. The infrastructure up here, it's not ready for the kind of boom we're experiencing.
It's not.
Our roads, our traffic lights, nothing is ready for it.
Yeah. No, I see it. I've been there so many times in the last year and a half to 2 years. I mean, you could clearly see it. It's just not ready.
Yeah.
I mean, your infrastructure is 69.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And 69 is
That's
only
it.
4 lanes wide.
Infrastructure. That's US 69. That's it. That's your infrastructure. That's one main road.
Yeah.
It's like getting to Surprise in 2005. When Surprise boomed.
Pretty much so. Bell Road. Yeah.
Bell Road or Litchfield.
Yeah.
Going from I-10 to Litchfield.
But Kelly, isn't that the case right now still? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's Bell Road.
But they've widened things somewhat.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's Bell Road, unless you want to loop around and you take 303. I mean, that's pretty much it still with Surprise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge. I get it. All right, guys, good morning. Kelly, good morning. Welcome. Ricardo, good morning. Joshua, good morning. Angela, good morning. We're going to be missing Alberto today. He had some personal stuff going on. I think we're missing a couple more people, right? Who else are we missing here? We're missing someone else?
Martha.
Where's Martha? Martha's not here. Oh, speaking right there, Martha.
Faye.
Oh my goodness, Faye is missing. Hey, Ricardo, did you check on Faye? Everything's okay there?
I haven't talked to her.
No, I know you were guys in the office yesterday, so.
Yeah, she was doing good yesterday.
I don't see her on here.
Who?
Sam.
Samantha is not here. That's right. Samantha is not here.
Adrian's not here. He hasn't been here for weeks.
Adrian forfeited his spot to Virginia, and then Virginia forfeited that spot to no one right now. So we're looking for one person. Hey,
Alan.
Parker, maybe Marge can join us. How about that?
I'll tell her we've got an opening.
Yeah. All right. Yes, Angela.
What's up with the Slack app. Mine says the subscription's expiring.
Come again? You were breaking up for a second.
It says my subscription is expiring on the Slack app.
Really?
Yeah, I
I don't know.
think I messaged you like it said it with 3.
I gotta check it out. I gotta see what's going on. I'm assuming they want us to pay for it.
Mine
Oh,
said
yeah,
that, I
maybe.
think, last week.
Usually that's what's happening. You know,
We could get a free Facebook group.
I guess we could. I mean, we can do a free Facebook group, right? We can do that.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know that it was charging me or wanted to charge me. I thought it was free. I mean, especially just with one channel, you would think that it would be free, but I guess not. I'll look into it. I'll take a look at it. All right, guys. So let's begin. Let's start. Today, I want to share with you the PowerPoint slides that we run at Allen K Group. Now, what you can do is, and we can help you with that. I'll talk to Tristan about it. See if I can bribe him. We can change all of this, guys, to your logo or a Best Homes logo. It's completely up to you. Okay, and I know we can get it done. But this is our exclusive VIP buyer system. This is the PowerPoint that I usually run when I meet with the buyers for the first time. You know, and you can print this out and have it in a really nice pamphlet or a booklet if you would like to. In fact, you can ask the title company to do it for you. Okay, but I usually like to work off an iPad or work off a laptop, or you know, I can hook up my laptop to the TV, for example, and it's really big. So this is the slides that I usually go on to right after I kind of fill them out, continue to develop rapport, ask them questions about their needs versus their wants, put together a list of maybe possible properties, and then I basically tell them, hey guys, how much time do you have? And they're usually going to be like, well, I mean, we got about 15-20 minutes. Great. What I would like to do right now is actually walk you through a home buying process, and it will take about 10 minutes of your time. Is that okay? Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Awesome. So I already have this on the go. It's already prepared. It's already there. So what I'm doing right now is basically walking them through the home buying process. But also, more importantly, this is also the place when I'm actually sharing what separates me from other agents and the value proposition that I'm offering to them as a buyer's agent. Okay. So the slide starts by educating them the difference between the seller agency and the buyer agency. Okay, so you guys all know the difference, right? Correct? Raise your hand.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone, right? Okay, so we know the difference, right? So it's a seller agency, you have a fiduciary to the seller only. The buyer agency, you have a fiduciary duties to the buyer only, okay? And I believe there are huge benefits in having a buyer's agent to represent you. What are some of the benefits having a buyer's agent, or you, for example, strictly representing the buyer versus representing the seller as well as the buyer? What are some of the benefits that you can provide and offer to the buyer that you're working with?
Loyalty.
Loyalty. Okay. What else?
In terms.
All right. Loyalty.
Fiduciary duties
Fiduciary. Well, what does that mean? Fiduciary duties.
means I have their best interests at heart.
That's right.
I
That's right.
protect their interests.
That's right. What else?
Confidentiality.
Confidentiality. That's right. What else? What else are we offering to them? How about obedience?
Yes.
We're doing that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So So this is what we can offer them as a buyer's agent, right? And you go through these slides by telling them, hey, you know what, guys, so this is what the buyer's agent and the seller's agent provide to you, right? And a lot of it is pretty much the same, right? Servicing duties and provided, right? Seller agent and buyer agent. So we arrange property showings, right? So if you're a listing agent, right, and the buyer calls you and says, hey, I really like your house, the listing, you show them the house, they're not interested, but now they want to go out and see other properties. Can you arrange property showings for them? You can, right?
Yeah.
Can you assist them in getting financing? You can, right? Provide property info. You can explain forms and agreements, right? Monitoring the closing process, right? So you can do all of those things if you're a seller agent or a buyer agent, right? But here's some of the benefits that the buyer agent will provide to the buyer only. Like we mentioned about the fiduciary, right? Protect buyer's interest at all times. Okay, advise and disclose to buyer all matters, even if it means pointing out reasons not to buy, correct?
Mhm.
Prepare property value study or a CMA for a buyer, even if it's low. Represent buyer only. So you're not representing the seller and a buyer, which gives you then limited authority or limited representation in a dual agency agreement. Okay, you only representing the buyer in this case. Also structuring offers to promote and protect buyer's interest only. Another definition of fiduciary, and I think somebody mentioned here, is keeping buyers' financial capabilities, thoughts, and willingness to pay more for a property strictly confidential. Represent buyer on MLS listed properties plus foreclosure properties, bank properties, auctions for sale by owners, contractor built sale properties. Negotiate home inspections, repairs, occupancy dates, and buyer credits, as well as the cost of the buyer in costs of, and costs in buyer favor. And the biggest thing is own fiduciary obligations, responsibilities to the buyer. So as you can see, there's a lot you are offering to the buyer. And it's much more than, hey, I want you just to show me a bunch of homes. I want you to just submit an offer, right? There's a lot more that you can offer. So when you are having a conversation with the buyer over the phone, or ideally in person, like you want to go through this and say, look, Mr. Buyer, there's a lot of things that you may not know about that we're actually including a part of our service package. There's a lot of things right here, guys, that you want to mention to them. Okay. Then you continue saying, look, as part of this VIP buyer experience, our team, right, or me can help you with the following components of the home buying process. So what are the components? You want to introduce him to the lender, correct? If you're talking to the buyer that never spoke to the lender, does not know how much they can pre-qualify for, okay, your first step, obviously, during the conversation is to refer them to a lender. Now, it should not be like there's some of us, before we even meet with them, we say, oh, why don't we have a conversation with the lender first? You could do that, but ideally you want to meet with them and then have a conversation with the lender. So securing the best financing at the lowest rates and terms for you, that's number one. Number two, find the best home for your needs. Number three, negotiating the lowest price and best terms for you. Number four, meet your home buying needs with the least amount of hassle. So step number one, we help you to find how much you can own by giving you access to our free home loan pre-approval process. So this is the time when you can actually have a conversation or talk about the lender that you work with. Ideally, maybe you want to have a lender on the speed dial. So after this presentation, you can have lender call them directly, maybe do a Zoom call or meet them in person. But this is important for you to explain to them why it is important for them to get pre-qualified before you go out there and start looking for homes. I had that conversation yesterday with one of the sellers that contacted me, and they're thinking of putting their house on the market and buying up in Flagstaff. And they're complaining about the fact that they don't see anything that they like in Flagstaff, and everything that they see, it goes under contract within 24 hours. I said, well, welcome to our world. I mean, that's the reality in many other parts of the country. But here's what I was able to discover during the conversation, guys, is the fact that they have not pre-qualified yet. So it's like, wait a minute. And we're talking about a couple in their 60s. They probably bought like 5 or 6 houses in the past. They own a house for about 8 years now. And they're looking at the houses and they're getting frustrated. They're getting like they don't see anything. But at the same time, they haven't even spoken to the lender yet. They don't have a pre-qualification yet. They didn't really go through that process. So of course, the first thing I said to them is, hey guys, I know everything goes quickly and we got to be super prepared. We got to be very ready to pull a trigger. But before we do that, we got to know how much you can pre-qualify for. That's the first step. So I introduced him. I did a quick 3-way. I called Jake up. I said, hey, Jake, can you have a conversation with them? I'll let you guys go. Can you have a conversation with them, answer their question, and see if we can get them pre-qualified? Which he did. Right? But that's the first step, is we want to make sure that they understand that they got to do this. And also importantly, without this, they don't know how much house they can really afford. They don't know how much their payments are going to be on a monthly basis. Like right now, there are people concerned about the pricing, going up and up. Oh, I cannot afford a $400,000 house. I cannot afford a $450,000 house. But if you really think about it, it's not how much you're paying, it's what your monthly payments are going to be like. On a $400,000 loan, the principal and interest is only $1,800 a month at a 3% interest. So you would think, oh my gosh, a $400,000, there's no way I can afford that type of a house, but it's only $1,800 a month. It's not like $2,500, $3,000 a month. So we want to know, like, ideally, hey, yeah, I mean, you want to buy a $400,000 house, but how much do you really want to pay on a monthly basis? And if they tell you, well, you know what, my limit is about $2,500, that's what I want to pay. Well, maybe we can find them something for $450,000, $460,000, $470,000, $480,000, maybe $500,000. So that's the first step. The second step is we're going to start emailing you, texting you, calling you with all the properties that are matching your criteria. That's a service that we provide. Now, they have access to Zillow. They have access maybe possibly to Redfin or Realtor.com. But we also give them access to our IDX website, which is valleyhomesearch.com or any other websites that you guys are running that has an integration with MLS. So every 6 to 12 hours, it updates. Okay, so they will be getting emails, they will be getting texts with the properties that match their criteria. Step number 3, we help you to get the home that you want by using our specialized market knowledge. This is an opportunity right here, guys, to talk about your knowledge, your expertise, your experience, what differentiates you from other agents. If, let's say, Parker, they're looking to buy in Pronghorn Ranch, you got to talk about that you are the specialist of Pronghorn Ranch. Why? Because you live in that area, you work in that area, you know the builders in that area, you know the HOA guidelines in that area, you know that area. For instance, Susan, you live in Ahwatukee. You work with the investor. So if you are meeting with, let's say, a buyer, and that buyer says, look, I want to find a really good deal on a house. Well, because you are working with the investor, right, you know the way to go and find them a good deal.
Right.
So you got to promote and let them know, look, this is my niche. This is what I specialize in. And by the way, sometimes it may be outside of your location or territory, which is fine. You can go in literally within 5 or 10 minutes and get all the details you want on a particular subdivision or a neighborhood in town. You go on their HOA site, you go on their a Google page, whatever it is, website, you get that information on that particular subdivision. So talk up or have a conversation about your specialized market knowledge and what you can offer them as far as that goes. Your negotiating skills, your marketing.
Mhm.
Some of you guys here are using a transaction coordinator. This is something that is also important. Like, hey, we got a team behind us. Once we get you under contract, I have a team that is going to be working on my behalf to make sure that the entire process is as smooth as possible, right? And this is something that you want to disclose as well. Like with Parker, he has a team. So if Parker is not available, Marge will step in, right? Like with Susan, she's part of the team. If Susan's not available, Alberto may step in. Somebody else will step in, right? The same goes with Josh. The same goes with Martha, right? So utilize the fact that you're not the only one are going to be helping them out. Now, you're going to be the point of a contact. You're going to be the project manager, but you're also going to have other pieces to the puzzle that are going to be assisting your client in this transaction. Okay. Step number 5. This is something that works, especially if you have a buyer that is like, man, I just don't see anything ideal. I just don't see anything that is perfect. I don't see anything that I really, truly, truly, truly love. Great. Here's my proposal to you guys. I know it's hard to find something that you really, really love right now. Okay. I know it's difficult to find something that checks all the boxes, but here's what I'm offering to you as my VIP buyer customer. Okay. Let's say you decide to buy a house and in a year or so, you find another property that matches your criteria. You like it. You love it. In fact, you want to sell your house and buy that house instead. With this program, if you buy it with me, I'll sell your house for free. Now, there's a little asterisk right here, and the asterisk is the fact that you still got to pay the co-broke, and you still got to pay a transaction fee or an admin fee. You can call it an admin fee or transaction fee of $9.99. So why do you think this would be beneficial to the buyer?
Because that's a big chunk of money they could be saving if they, just don't love the house and find something different.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, let's say they buy a $400,000 house. Let's say they decide to sell the house 6 months down the line. Now they got to pay your commission. They got to pay the buyer's agent's commission. That's potential can be about anywhere between $20,000 to $24,000 out of their pocket.
Right.
So what you're telling them is, hey, I'll sell it for free, but here's the condition. You got to use me to buy your next home. So you're still making money on the back end by having them buy it from you, and you're still going to make your 2.5%, 3% commission. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they don't like the house, they want to sell it. You rather have them sell it through you versus go with someone else. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's
but you
something
better
that,
just hope. I was gonna say,
go
you
ahead.
better hope they don't want to move out of state.
Well, that's a good point. But if they are going to be moving out of state, right? Can you still get a referral fee?
Mhm.
I mean, you can, right?
Yeah.
It's something to nothing. If they're moving out of state, and hopefully they're moving somewhere like I don't know, like California, right, or Florida or New York, where the average price point is like I don't know, like 500, 600, 700,000, you make pretty good penny on it. Okay, but this is something that I think can be very valuable to you guys, especially right now, because you have some buyers, and a lot of buyers are just, man, they're not feeling those homes that are in the market, but they're so serious about it. They have to buy. They have no other choice. And you tell them, hey, I know you're not 100% sold on this house. I get that, but here's what I'm offering you. If something pops up 6 months down the line that you guys really like, all right, I'll sell it for free. You don't have to pay me my commission.
Right.
Okay.
I think with this, Alan, I think people will be more willing to compromise, and their want list maybe shortened because they're thinking, well, okay, I can compromise right now, and then if I really don't like the house, we can sell it later.
Exactly. I mean, how many of us done that? I think all of us, when we bought our first house, right, we compromised. Even when you buy your second house, we compromise. Like the only way we're not compromising if we buy a piece of dirt and we build a house to our specs. Even, for example, buying through a builder right now, like I'm going through that experience. There are a lot of things that we, my wife and I had to compromise. Right? So it's something that's given. We just want to make sure that we ease their mind and really offer them a value proposition by saying, hey, if you decide to sell it, or here's what happens also is, what if, for example, they have a job now transfer with their company or a job opportunity. So now they have to sell, they have to move. So what we do in that situation, say the same exact thing. Hey, you know what? Within 2-year period, if you decide to sell your house that you're buying it with me, I'll sell it for free.
Well, I just want to share that with my client who sold his house and bought with me too, because he didn't want to go up all the way to 350. So I told him, you know what? You want to be in this neighborhood here in Ahwatukee. You can buy it for 350. I mean, you want a house with a pool and this big. Here in a year or 2 years, if you don't want it and you want to downside, I'll sell it, and I'll sell it for just 1.5 for my commission, and I'll save you some money that way. And he was sold. Yeah.
Yeah, but with one condition though, right? The condition is the fact that he must use you
Right,
on
exactly.
the buy side, right?
Yeah, true. That's true too. Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. For example, when I go on a listing appointments and there's a seller and a buyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I usually say to them is like, hey, if you buy with me as well, I'll lower my commission.
Mm-hmm.
I lower my commission. But here's what I do. I don't lower my commission on the sales side. I still get my regular, I don't know if I can use the word standard, but whatever commission that we set. But on the buy side, what I do is when they actually go on their escrow, and at the close of escrow, I will deduct a percentage of my buy side commission and apply it towards their closing costs. So I don't lower it on the seller side, on the listing side. I do it on the buy side. Why? Because let's say, for example, you lower it on the listing side, and then they said, hey, you know what, Alan, we really enjoyed working with you, but we got a friend in a business and she's going to help us on the buy side. What are you doing then?
Yeah.
You see
Well,
what I'm saying? And by the way, I learned that lesson. Initially, that's what I was doing. Right. And I had one seller that did that to me. It's like, okay, yeah. If you can just lower your commission on the listing side, I'll work with you on the buy side. and I provided really good service. And then he's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we got a really good friend of mine, and she's gonna help us out on the buy side. I was like, wait a minute, I lowered the commission because, well, yeah, but it's our friend.
Do you think it would work to do the exclusive representation agreement?
Yeah. You can do that as well. You can do that as well. In fact, that's something you definitely want to do, you know, especially if you're going to be like asking for a buyer broker exclusive. You can even say with buyer broker exclusive, like going back to this, at the end of your presentation, you can actually reference to this and say, hey, if you guys decide to sell it, you know, here's the buyer broker exclusive that states that you're going to be using me on the buy side, and I'm not going to charge you a penny on my commission. So you can be creative as far as that goes. All right, guys. So
And Sam wanted me to let you know that she texted you like 30 minutes before the meeting started. Do you remember?
oh, that was Sam. I thought it was you.
Oh, no, it was Sam.
It was Sam. All right, got it. My bad. My bad. Okay. All right. So yeah, and her listing fell out of escrow, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
Is she like in mourning because of that? I hope she's not in mourning because of that.
No, I think she's in like a strategy session with her client.
Gotcha. Gotcha. We should be able to get it under contract again. Look, it happened to me last week. You know, I got my listing under contract, and then 4 days down the line, we still didn't get the earnest deposit. I was like, hey guys, I'm going to be sending you QR. Like, what's going on? I know one of the days was a holiday. And they're like, oh yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I was like, look, you are supposed to do this like within 48 hours. What happened? Well, I'm going to get back to you. I said, like, here's the cure. And then the next morning she texted me and saying, well, you know what? They didn't really like the neighborhood. They saw too many, what did you say? Pot dispensaries in that area. Pot dispensaries. I said, that can be a positive for a lot of people, you know, and like pot, it's convenience.
And right there is your neighbor.
That's right.
Hey,
Anyway,
that's a
guys.
great point to put in your listing. If you like pot, we got a bunch of dispensaries right here.
I mean, that's the first one, right? Like pot dispensaries, right? Okay, so I finished my presentation by reiterating all the things that I just covered during the other 14 slides, right? And we call them 8 VIP buyer benefits, right? So you're going to get pre-qualified free of charge, you know, no obligation on your end, by the way, to use our lender. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable with our lender, if you want to shop around our lender, you're more than welcome to do that. Number 2, you receive the best new listings that match your criteria. So we talk about, you know, Commissions Inc. or KB Core. We talk about them getting them via email as well as text message. Number 3, you're getting obviously our specialized market knowledge from me, my experience as an agent. And again, if let's say you're a new agent, this is an opportunity for you to talk about your team, talk about your team's production, talk about you know, transaction coordinator, admin, digital media specialist, designated broker. Great opportunity for you guys to do that. Number 4, again, you can talk about the technology that we have, that we offer to them, like a CRM, like Commissions Inc. Number 5, this is something that I offer to my clients, is a home warranty package. Now, with this, you can ask the seller to pay for it, but if seller doesn't pay for it, I suggest, if you got a buyer who's kind of, again, on the fence, I suggest you paying for it, $399 or $450 for the home warranty. Number 6, cancellation guarantee. And again, that usually applies to either a buyer broker exclusive agreement or VIP buyer agreement. We call it a satisfaction guarantee. And then number 8, you get priority access to the competent affiliates that can assist you with your home purchase needs and circumstantial details, like a home inspection company, like title company, like a landscaping company, pool company, AC company. So we have a vetted list of vendors that we can share with them as well, that will make their process much smoother. So these are kind of like 8 VIP buyer benefits that we offer. Again, you are more than welcome to add your stuff to it. It doesn't have to be this exactly. It doesn't have to be 8. It can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 6, right? It doesn't really matter. The reason I have this is because it makes you, I believe, look more like you're a professional. Okay, it gives them the opportunity to read a visual representation. I believe is very important. It's one thing when you talk, it's another thing when you talk and you actually can show it to them, what you're going to be offering them as an agent. I also believe it's a differentiator because most of the agents are not doing this. Most of the agents, they're just having a conversation, maybe talk about the market, whatever it is. That's pretty much it. If you can incorporate that in your buyer consult, I think that's going to benefit you, and ultimately it's going to benefit your client. Okay, any questions, guys, about this?
Are you going to send us a link to this?
Yes, I will send you the link to it. I'm going to see if I can have Tristan remove the logo piece of it, so this way you guys can apply and I'm sure he agrees with me as well. So and I'll send this over to you, and here's what I would like you guys to do is I want you to start practicing, because next week I want to role play this with you guys. Okay, I want to role play this with you. I want you guys to get comfortable with this. Again, I'm not expecting you to know every single line here, and that's not really what we want. I just want you to go through it like I basically did right now with you guys, and just have a conversation. All right. All right, guys. Any thoughts, any feedback before we go?
Looks good.
All right. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you as always. Thanks so much. Let's get those tracking messages coming. I'm assuming you guys are all still making phone calls, correct? Yeah. Let's send them. Let's send them. It's inspirational. It's motivational. It also helps you to kind of track your performance. Okay, I know you guys are doing great things. Let's continue doing that. Consistency takes less energy. Okay, so let's stay consistent with it. And I'm here for you. Alberto's here for you guys. And let's crush this week. Okay.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.